Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Are you struggling with that nasty slice? If so, you're not alone and you are in great company because this shot shape impacts a majority of the golfing community. The good news is there is still hope. And over the next 3 weeks, we are going to release a brand new video series on helping you mitigate that slice once and for all. Without further delay, let's jump in. So before we get too deep into today's content, I do want to take a quick second to level set the playing field to help you get the most out of this 3-part video series. In part 1, we're going to focus on the strategy. And without question, all good things start with a plan, and this is the exact same approach that we utilize with our customers day in and day out, and I'm pretty confident if it can help turn their game around, the same information can help yours as well. In part 2, we're going to focus on the delivery side of the coin, and make no mistake about it, if you're struggling with the slice, it is very likely attributed to your technique. And we're going to share the best tips that we share with our customers to help them build that solid framework so that we're not creating band-aids. And in our third and final part, we're going to shift our focus to the other side of the coin to finally talk about how the golf club can also help you mitigate the slice. So if you're ever curious how club fitters do what they do in order to make the shot outcome better by simply swapping out the golf shafts, trying different heads, then this video is going to be for you because we're going to leave no stone unturned. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into the strategy. Now, in an attempt to get you off on the right foot and to simplify this strategy, we've broken this down into 3 key steps, with the first step being associated with assessing. And here, we really just need to understand what kind of slice are we working with. You're likely going to fall into one of 3 categories. Do you have a face-related slice? These are individuals with decent club paths. Balls usually start close to the target line, but with a wide open face, causing the ball to veer off to the right. Or do you have a club path related slice? And these would be individuals with horrible club path issues. I'm talking about out the ends, like swinging to third base, and a face somewhat okay, but it's more of just a sweeping hook, and it somewhat finishes on the target line, but it's just not ideal. Or last but not least, are you one of those gunslingers and the ball starts way left and finishes way right? No matter what, the reason you're slicing the ball is because the club path and face-to-path relationships isn't in balance. But now the question remains is, what type of slice do you have and how bad is it? And yes, you can go to the driving range and hit some shots to kind of put yourself into one of these 3 camps, but you're never really going to understand how bad is your club path and your face-to-path relationship. So without question, you need some form of feedback, and the best way to capture this information is through the use of a launch monitor. And the 3 launch monitors we recommend are your flight scopes, your TrackMans, and your GC quads. All the other launch monitors do an okay job of measuring the ball side of the fence, but not necessarily the club side. And this is why the best club fitters in the world will prefer one of these 3 launch monitors I talked about. But the downside is they come at a cost. Try reaching out to your local club fitter to see if you can do a tuning session to know what your numbers are, or see if they have some type of bay rental piece where you can rent a launch monitor for a fraction of the cost. Once we're able to acquire this information, we need to understand how bad is the slice and compare that to what is ideal. And what we have found through all the years of our experience is that what produces the sweetest baby fades is a club path that averages 3 to 4 degrees out to in, with a face-to-path relationship being open about 1.5 to 2 degrees. And another way to look at it is whatever your club path is, cut the face-to-path relationship in half. So as an example, if your club path is 4 degrees out to in, you want your face to path to be about 2 degrees open. And it doesn't necessarily mean that if it's a little more open or a little more closed that you're not going to hit a fade, it just won't be optimum. Step 2 in our journey is we need to be able to evaluate the information we just captured. And although you can do this on your own, we do highly recommend that you seek out the guidance from an experienced club fitter, because this can be an excellent resource to help you analyze the situation. And the 2 things we're looking for is, 1, how bad is the technique? And a club fitter can actually start to help you understand where in your technique are you breaking down, and may even be able to offer some tips and suggestions like we're going to do in part 2 to help you get the technique back on track. The second part of that is that we need to understand how you're responding to the golf clubs you are using. And yes, you heard me loud and clear, the golf club can influence how you swing and deliver the golf club, whether it's too heavy, too light, too stiff, too soft, a wrong head altogether, or maybe even just as simple as the wrong loft sleeve. All of these variables can exasperate the slice, but the key is if we don't take the time to evaluate it, we're never going to know. And bringing it all home with our 3rd and final step is we need to be able to isolate the situations. The key objective here is we don't want to boil the ocean or overwhelm you with a bunch of different swing thoughts. So if you are impacted with both a poor club path and a poor face to path relationship, you have to address both. Here we want to make sure that we isolate the situation and we focus on one area at a time. Where should you start, you might ask? Well, start with the area that's impacting you the most. Narrow your focus to ensure you're not playing ping pong and going from club path to face to path tips, because generally speaking, they're going to be 2 totally different solutions or suggestions in order to mitigate those issues. So if your club path is, say, 15 to 16 degrees out to in and your face to path is only 7 to 8 open to that path, then definitely start with the club path first, and then don't move on to the face side of the coin until you get club path cut in half. Understand, we're not trying to solve it all together. I just need it to be better. And once it's cut in half to, say, 8, then shift your focus to the face side of the coin. And then if you approach it this way, you can definitely stack the deck in your favor. Now, there's one last tip I want to share in order to help you get the most out of this last step. And I really can't emphasize this enough, and that's go get a lesson. What a club fitter can do for your gear, a swing coach can do for your technique. The key thing you need to ask when you're searching for an instructor is, are they using some form of technology? So whether or not if you try to do this on your own or you do seek out the guidance from a coach, you still need to have a launch monitor to give you that feedback. And what this is going to prevent is that ping pong effect, that whack-a-mole effect, or trying this versus trying that, and potentially ingraining some bad swing thoughts. So if you try something and it's not moving the ball in a better direction, discard it before it becomes second nature. And as long as you follow these principles, I can assure you, you're going to be on the pathway to eliminate that slice once and for all. So in closing, we truly hope you found value with the information we shared with you today. And if you did find value, do me a favor. Just press that thumbs up to let us know that you enjoyed the content. And if you have any questions or comments, do me a favor. Just leave them in the remarks below, and I'll do my very best to help you find the answers to the questions that you're searching for. And remember, this is part 1 of a 3-part series. Stay tuned next week where we dive into the delivery side of the coin to share some of the best tips that we share with our customers to get their game back on track. So until then, thanks for watching.